Good morning. Do you have plenty of bread and milk? Maybe a homemade soup is simmering on the stove, getting ready for this very cold weekend ahead, the winter weather that's coming our way. The perfect time to, of course, watch us here on Channel 3 and keep your weather updates current, but also maybe sit down and watch a movie and dream of getting out eventually to go see a movie live and in person. A good time for Tom Benson to join us then. He, of course, is with the Tennessee Aquarium, and today we're talking about IMAX movies playing. Good to see you this morning, Tom.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Julie. Or should I say, good day, mate?
Okay, good day, mate. You're doing that because, you know, y'all have done IMAX movies before that you featured on the Great Barrier Reef there in Australia. Anyone who knows anything about the continent knows it's huge. What the southern end has is different from what the northern end has. So this is a new movie focusing on the wilds of the north. Is that right?
That's right. This is Australia's Great Wild North 3D, which is going to start on Friday, January 14th. We're very excited about this film, Julie, because, I think a lot of people have Australia maybe on the bucket list. I know I do. I would love to go visit someday. But even if you were to visit Australia, some of these locations that you're going to see in Australia's Great Wild North 3D are so remote that it would really take a lot of effort for somebody to be able to get there. So the filmmakers have trudged into the Northern Territory, that great big expanse in the northern part of the continent that's roughly twice the size of Texas, but only has about 15,000 permanent residents there, to see some of these gorgeous waterfalls and landscapes that fill that giant 6-story screen in 3D and really take you into this adventure that explores not only the wildlife there, but also, some of the cultural aspects of the Northern Territory.
I don't pretend to have a good sense of geography, but is this area, Tom, part of what was impacted by the fires a few years ago?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a large part of the continent that was impacted by the fires. This crew spent about a year in the Northern Territory, and it's one of those parts of the world that experiences a dramatic difference between the wet season and the dry season. And so during the wet season, there's tremendous rains and huge flooding over large expanses of the Northern Territory. But then during the dry season, a lot of that kind of dries up almost into desert-like territory, and you're left with these wetlands that are, really a driving force for a lot of the wildlife there, especially one of the most iconic creatures, which is featured in this film, the saltwater crocodile.
So I guess they had begun making this film long before those fires took place, which speaks to the length of time these filmmakers are putting in to their product, right? I mean, this is a long time that they spend getting the cinematography ready to screen.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we just had a delightful conversation with Nick Robinson, who's the director of this film, and it was written by an Aboriginal man who stars in the film. And so you'll follow him around the Northern Territory and into some places. There are some what they call living caves, and we're familiar to some degree here in the United States with cave paintings and rock paintings in different parts, especially of the southwestern United States, or certainly those cave paintings in France that are so very well known in history books. But these are some cave paintings that are still very vivid. You're actually, through the magic of IMAX, taken into these caves with some of the people of Australia to see these, very special places that a lot of people will not see with their own two eyes, even if they travel to Australia.
Let me hit the granddad side of you for a minute before we talk about Spider-Man, because I know you're extending the play of that. But you've got 2 grandchildren, about to be 3, right?
Well, we've got one that just turned 5 and one that turned 9.
Okay. So yeah. Don't you find that kids today are able to see the world through events like this and films like this in a very different way than we did? All we had, and I loved them, were our National Geographic magazines, where these remote places seem so far away. Your grandchildren can watch this movie and then they can Google and find out all they want to about Northern Australia.
Okay, so I was really amazed. I stayed up until midnight on New Year's Eve with them. This is the first time I've been, up at midnight in a long time. But we found a channel on the cable that had fireworks from around the world, and it was really just that sound and, iconic cities. So when the Opera House was there in the harbor in Sydney, and you saw the fireworks going up, Vita instantly, the older of the two granddaughters, instantly recognized that location because she had seen it online. And so, yes, one of the things that Nick Robinson, the director of Australia's Great Wild North, said is that, you know, the ability to have school children around the world see this film, be transported into this location, learn about the culture of Northern Australia, see some of these iconic animals, and then understand the connection between humans and wildlife, and you know, the way the environment can work in harmony together is a very special thing. And we're also grateful for the support from Tennessee American Water as our local presenting sponsor, because they really wanted to have the opportunity for a lot of school kids to come into the theater and see that. And we think that, you know, right now we're in kind of a surge with Omicron, but that'll, you know, hopefully dissipate quite quickly. And we think that by spring, we'll start to invite more of those school groups into the theater to experience these films again and to have that rich learning experience, and then go across the street to the aquarium where you can see barramundi and whiprays from Australia and some of the other iconic creatures that we have, and also the American alligator, which is very similar to the saltwater crocodile, but very different in other ways. So they can compare and contrast the wetlands of the Everglades that they can research again online, see these animals at the aquarium, see the other animals in the wetlands in Australia through this IMAX film, and really kind of have this rich learning experience here.
I think it's fascinating. Okay, on the non-educational front, but the fun front, about a minute or so left, you've extended Spider-Man. People can still have a chance to go see it for a little while longer.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were busy during the holidays, and there's a lot of people that still want to see this film. So we decided, you know what, let's keep it for another weekend. So the 14th, 15th, and 16th of January, one show, 6:30 p.m., Spider-Man No Way Home. A lot of fun on the giant screen.
And I guess I shouldn't say it's non-educational. You can learn some fun stunts and how to be brave.
Yes. Yeah, well, I think everybody knows Spider-Man is just fun, right? And so it's been great to have people coming to the theater, and they've had so much fun with this film and some of the other feature-length films. So we've got more excitement coming up throughout 2022, which again is the Aquarium's 30th anniversary. So we're looking forward to celebrating both at the Aquarium and IMAX this year.
Let us celebrate with you, Tom. That's a milestone. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good day, mate.
Good day.
You can go, again, it previews, when does it start, Tom, the Australia one?
The 14th, January 14th.
All right there for you come Martin Luther King weekend. tnaqua.org is your website. You can also give them a call at the phone number there on your screen. Do go ahead and reserve your tickets as quickly as you can, because they do want to make sure you get a seat in the theater. We're back after this.
Don't miss an all-new